Gauteng's Department of Education having served Malcolm Williams with a dismissal notice. Williams was the principal of Parktown Boys High School when grade 8 pupil Enock Mpianzi drowned during a school camp that happened in January this year. For more on this, I'm joined now by the spokesperson for the department, Steve Mabona. Hello to you, Steve. This incident happened in January. There was a full investigation, a full inquiry. Just explain to us why the department has come to this conclusion now that the principal be fired when he in fact was the person who arrived at the camp when that water activity was underway and put a stop to it.
Yes, thanks very much, Sally, and to all our viewers. Remember, the department decided to charge the principal for misconduct emanating from this incident, but you'll understand that there was an investigative process which was undertaken, and the forensic report was then presented. So the department decided to charge the principal, one, on failing to get an approval from the department before that excursion was undertaken. So there was no approval for the excursion. Secondly, there was no proper roll call that was then taken, which led probably to more time being wasted because they could not account for all the learners to a certain extent, that there was, them searching, checking for information, but not sure whether other learners, joined the camp and all that. So those two charges. And then the third charge was on making sure that there's safety regulations adherence, making sure that there's safety vests and all that. But on the third charge, the presiding officer did not find him guilty, only found guilty on the first and the second. The first being, not receiving approval, and the second one not making sure that there was a roll call that was taken there.
Certainly the issue of not getting the correct approval, the administrative paperwork in place for this camp, absolutely lands squarely at his desk. My understanding of the roll call was left on the bus by another teacher, not directly his fault, but this seems to be suggesting that it's an issue of overall accountability, that this happened under his watch. Am I correct?
Indeed, because remember, if you cannot account for how many or who left your school to go to an excursion, whether the list was left or the roll call was left wherever, but as the head of the institution, we have a responsibility to know who went, and so that in the event of anything, we are empowered to interact with parents, we are empowered to inform the department. You will be knowing on what transpired. So the lack of that and led the presiding officer finding him guilty on that one.
I understand he has a right to appeal. He has 5 days to indicate if he's going to do so. Have you received any notice from him that he plans to do such?
Well, he received the notice today, and he has 5 working days to respond whether he's going to appeal or not. So up to so far, we have not received anything. As soon as he sends it, we will be in a position to can confirm. But as you know, that must be sent to the member of the Executive Council, which is the MEC Panyaza. So he will be in a position to notify us.
Steve, it was such a tragic day when Enock Mpianzi died, and they did that rafting exercise on the water. There were many people there that day who didn't make the right decisions, and I just want to know whether we can expect more dismissals from the school, and whether, and if you could perhaps update us on any criminal charges. It has been a long time since January, and if you just give us the latest on more dismissals and possibly criminal charges.
Well, on criminal charges, we will unfortunately not be in a position to can update you, as you know that belong to the justice cluster, but on the internal processes, we continue with our disciplinary processes. This one was finalized But I guess you say there's many people that they had to account. So as soon as we receive the outcome of the other disciplinary processes, we will be in a position to come and say this is what transpired. We cannot then preempt on dismissals. We cannot preempt on any outcome of a disciplinary process. That would not be wise for us to do that. So let's wait for the process, and we should be in a position to can announce to say, on the other cases, this is what transpired, and we'll take it from there.
Right, so that's ongoing. Thank you very much for that update. Steve Mabona, who speaks for the Gauteng Department of Education, confirming to us that the Parktown Boys High School principal, Malcolm Williams, has been fired. This relates to 2 of the 3 charges he faced. First of all, that he didn't get all the right sign-off on that Nyati Bush camp excursion for the grade 8 boys. That also a correct roll call was not in the possession of the teachers at that camp. The final allegation that he endangered the lives of the learners by disregarding safety rules, he has not been found guilty on that. So that is the very latest from Parktown Boys High School this afternoon. Now let's move